I was 8 months pregnant when I saw it. A photo. Her hands were tied with the exact same tie I gave my husband for his birthday, and the caption, "Work trip, watching the game, slaying monsters." The monster was my best friend. I thought betrayal would break me. I had no idea heartbreak was just the beginning. Because the people who love you the most are also the ones who know exactly how to ruin you. Welcome to Tiny Love Story. Hope you enjoy the story. If you do, please hit that subscribe button to support the channel. Thank you. Hi, I'm Madeline Carter, 8 months pregnant, sitting in a stuffy OB/GYN hallway, alone, again. Jake Reynolds is too busy to take his pregnant wife to her appointments. What the hell kind of husband is that? That's my mom. Volume unfiltered, mood permanently disappointed in my life choices. I tried to keep my face neutral even though people were side-eyeing us. Mom, he's in DC for work. He wanted to come, I told him it wasn't necessary. Lie. It was half true. Jake really was in DC. And I really did tell him not to come, but only because I knew he'd be too busy anyway. And also because I'm used to doing everything on my own. I've always been that girl. The one who carries her own boxes, doesn't ask for rides, and insists she's fine even when she's clearly not. Jake used to admire that about me, until he didn't. Absurdity. When I walked out of my final prenatal checkup, I had a fresh prescription, an even fresher migraine, and my mom on full rant mode. Almost 9 months in, and he still lets you go to the OB alone. That man doesn't deserve your loyalty. I didn't reply, mostly because I knew she was right, partly because I saw the pity in people's eyes. And then my phone rang. Jake. His voice smooth as ever filtered through the speaker. "Hey baby, how'd the checkup go?" "Everything okay?" I gave the usual update. "Good heartbeat, iron still low, baby still kicking like it's training for the Olympics." "I'll be back tonight," he said. "Dinner with a client. Then I'm catching the last train back to New York." I forced a smile even though he couldn't see it. "Rachel back yet?" I asked, trying to sound casual. He paused. Just half a second too long. "Yeah," he said. "She's fine. Her project's going well. Not that it's any of your business." There it was, the edge in his voice. Jake and Rachel never got along, ever, not even as kids. She thought he was uptight and fake. He thought she was arrogant and cold. And yet, they've been working together on the same project team for 3 months. "Seriously, Maddie," Jake laughed. "You talk about Rachel more than you talk about me. You sure I'm the husband here?" I laughed too out of habit. "Ari." On the drive home, Mom kept grumbling in the front seat. I half-tuned her out and opened Instagram. Big mistake. There, freshly posted by Rachel Morgan, was something weird. A hotel room, white bed sheets, dim lighting, and Rachel lying across the bed, her hands tied with a necktie, a very specific necktie, gray with blue pinstripes, tiny red heart embroidered at the end. It was the exact same limited edition tie I gave Jake for his birthday. Caption: "Work trip, watching the game, slaying monsters." My blood ran cold. I clicked on her profile, but the post was gone. Deleted. Like it never happened. Maybe I imagined it. Hormones do weird things. Maybe it was a different tie. Maybe... Pain. A sudden cramp tore through my belly. Then darkness. The last thing I heard was my mom yelling my name. When I opened my eyes, the ceiling was unfamiliar. Sterile, fluorescent, hospital. I was hooked up to an IV. My arm ached, my head pounded. And my mom sat beside me holding my hand like I was still 5. "You scared me half to death," she whispered, eyes red. "You and that useless man of yours." I didn't respond. My throat was dry, but the pain wasn't physical. I reached for my belly, my son. He kicked faint but strong. Still there. I exhaled. My mom launched into another tirade. "I raised you alone. All I ever wanted was for you to marry well, to be safe, to have a man who shows up. Instead, you married a guy who's married to his job." I bit my lip. Jake wasn't poor. We had a new house, a new car. I made decent money as a brand designer, and he was leading his own project team now. We were doing fine. At least that's what I kept telling myself. Until yesterday. Until the tie. He showed up at the hospital that night, with a suitcase and a smile. I smelled it before he even reached the bed. Cologne, not mine, not his, faint, floral, Rachel's. "You scared me," he said, setting down the suitcase and pulling me into a careful hug. "You okay?" I pulled back. "Where's the tie I gave you?" He blinked. One beat, then two. The tie. Yeah, the gray one, with the red heart. His face didn't flinch. He crouched, opened his suitcase, and pulled it out perfectly folded. Neat. Clean. Like it hadn't just been used to tie up my best friend on a hotel bed. I stared at it. At him. He looked calm. Too calm. Either he was completely innocent or a really, really good liar. "It's right here, babe. See?" He even smiled. And for a second, I almost believed him. But then Mom stormed in. She took one look at him and exploded. "Still running around the country when your wife is fainting from anemia? How dare you call yourself a man, Mrs. Carter?" "I'm sorry," Jake said quickly. "I've already told work I won't travel anymore. I'll be home every day from now on." He turned to me, voice soft. "I'm sorry, Maddie. I'll take care of everything now. You and the baby, that's all that matters." His hand touched mine, warm, familiar, but my stomach twisted. Was it guilt I saw in his eyes, or something else? That's when Rachel walked in. Of course. Hair slightly damp, fresh face, cozy oversized hoodie, that same faint floral scent wafting in. She rushed to my bedside. "Maddie, you okay? You look pale as hell." Her tone was sharp, but her hands were gentle. She rubbed warmth into my fingers, even pulled out a heat pack from her purse. "I told you to eat more red meat, you never listen." She smiled. I didn't. All I could think of was that post, that tie, that scent. Jake stood awkwardly by the window, not even looking at her. No teasing, no fighting, just silence, and that silence was deafening. Rachel had always been the one who stayed. When Jake was out of town, she brought me food, registered me for appointments, sat with me during ultrasounds. She made red date porridge. She memorized my supplement schedule. She even got into an argument with a rude nurse who made me wait too long. In my pregnancy journal, almost every entry ended with "Rachel came by today." She was there. So why did it feel so wrong now? That night when Rachel left, she gave me a quick wink and a little pinch on the ear, something she used to do back in high school. And for the first time, I didn't feel comforted. I felt cold. After she left, Mom launched into matchmaking mode. "Rachel's still single, huh? I have a bunch of rich clients at the spa. I should introduce her to someone." I rolled my eyes. Before I could say anything, Jake jumped in. "She wouldn't be interested. Rachel's standards are high." My mom narrowed her eyes. "Who asked you? You barely know her." My heart dropped. Jake never used to care about Rachel's standards. Now suddenly he defended her. I tried to play it off. "Actually," I said, "remember Logan Brooks, your intern?" Jake's body stiffened. "No," I blinked. "He's smart, sweet, good job." "Why not introduce him to Rachel?" Jake's voice turned sharp. "He's not good enough for her." Silence. It hung in the room like fog, and in that silence, something inside me cracked. I didn't know what hurt more, his words or how fast he said them. We got home late that night. Jake helped me change into pajamas, brought me tea, and even tucked my feet under a heated blanket. Perfect husband mode activated. It almost worked if I hadn't seen that damn necktie. He knelt in front of me like always, kissed my knee like always, said, "Let's not fight anymore, babe. I just want you to be happy." But I couldn't sleep. At 2 a.m., while he snored softly beside me, I got up, took his phone. The lock screen was my birthday. 0507. Of course it was. Dikak, I went straight to his friend list. Nothing weird. But then I scrolled to the bottom. There it was. A nameless account. Just a blank icon and a single character. I tapped it. The username, a little monster. Profile private. Gender male. Privacy settings, hidden from friends. Classic burner account. I opened the feed. My heart dropped. The same photo, Dim lighting, hotel bed. Hands tied with my gift, the gray striped tie with the red heart. Caption work trip, watching the game, slaying monsters, same, exact, words, same, exact, tie. Only this time it wasn't deleted, because it wasn't public, it was hidden from me. I kept scrolling, photo after photo, kisses behind a parking garage, wine-stained sheets, sneakers tangled under a blanket, and one photo right outside our apartment hallway. I felt bile rise in my throat. The account didn't just exist, it thrived. Rachel had documented it all. Their twisted little affair, their stolen moments, their disgusting dates. And what's worse, she still showed up to feed me soup. I stumbled into the bathroom, phone shaking in my hand. Flashes of memory hit me like a truck, Jake handing me soup last week. Rachel walking in with a soft smile. Jake working late. Rachel taking long walks. I felt sick. I puked up the leftovers Jake had made for me that evening, and the sound of me retching woke him up. He rushed in half asleep, rubbing his eyes. "Maddie, are you okay?" He saw the phone in my hand. His face changed. "Where'd you get that?" I didn't answer. I just looked at him, really looked at him. The face I once loved, now a stranger. So I whispered, "Was she a good game day monster?" Jake's eyes widened. He stepped toward me. I stepped back. "Babe, please don't." My voice cracked. Then I slapped him, hard. His head turned. Then I slapped him again. His cheeks flared red. You pretended to hate each other," I hissed. "You played me. It wasn't supposed to happen, but it did. Over and over and over." I screamed. My hands shook. My knees buckled. Jake tried to hold me. I pushed him away with everything I had left. "Get out. Maddie, please get out." He dropped to his knees. "Please, I'm begging you, don't leave me. Don't take our baby away." I didn't answer. I grabbed my phone and dialed the only number that ever answered. "Mom, come get me." 10 minutes later, she was there. Saw my tear-streaked face. Saw Jake on his knees. She didn't ask questions. She just slapped him, twice, louder than mine. Then she pulled me close and said, "We're leaving. Now." We left that night with nothing but a diaper bag, a phone charger, and the dignity Jake didn't manage to steal. Mom didn't say a word the entire ride. She just kept one hand on the wheel, the other clutching mine like I'd float away if she let go. When we reached her place, my childhood apartment above the old spa, I collapsed onto the couch. The silence was heavy. So was my belly. So was my heart. "I'm sorry," I whispered. She turned. For what? For everything. For not listening. For thinking I could have a fairy tale. She exhaled and dropped onto the couch beside me. "Sweetheart," she said, "fairy tales are written by liars. You just met one of the better ones." Jake came the next day, and the day after that, and every day after. He brought flowers, soup, baby books, more soup. He left them at the doorstep like a well-trained golden retriever. Mom dumped it all in the trash, or gave it to the stray dog behind the building. "At least he's loyal," she muttered. I didn't respond to Jake's texts, didn't read his emails, didn't open the door when he knocked. I just existed. Every breath felt like I was dragging bricks. Every kick from the baby reminded me what I had to survive for. Then came Rachel. Of course. She showed up on a Tuesday, hair messy, eyes red, holding a bag of vitamin supplements and baby socks. Mom nearly shoved her off the porch. But when the neighbors started peeking through their curtains, she let her in to avoid a scene. We sat in silence in the downstairs cafe. Just the three of us. Rachel, me, my rage. She started crying. Instantly. "Maddie, I know I'm the last person you want to see, but I had to tell you. Tell me what I said, that you stabbed me in the back and documented it like a scrapbook." Her face crumbled. I didn't mean for it to happen. No one ever means for it to happen. But you did it anyway, repeatedly. She sobbed harder. Mom stood behind me, arms crossed, ready to throw hands if I gave the word. But I stayed seated, because some part of me needed to hear it. Needed to understand how Rachel Morgan became the villain in my life. I've been depressed, Maddie, for years, she said. Ever since my parents divorced, I never told you. So you slept with my husband. No, I mean, yes, but it wasn't like that. I stood up. It was exactly like that. Her voice cracked. That night, on the business trip, that awful client dinner, he protected me. Some guy spilled wine on my dress and wouldn't stop touching me. Jake stepped in. Got into a fight. I was drunk. We both were. I broke down. He held me. Then you slept together. She nodded. It was a mistake. A huge, horrible mistake. I wanted to tell you 100 times. But every time I saw you, pregnant, happy, I couldn't. So you posted it online. Her lips trembled. It was a private account. I thought. I don't know what I thought. I wasn't thinking. Boar ibaik, Mom grabbed a water glass and threw it, barely missing Rachel's shoulder. Rachel flinched. Get out, Mom growled. But Rachel didn't move. She looked at me. I lost you. And I know I deserve that. But I had to try. Just once. Before I disappear for good. Then she left. I stared at the door for a long time. Was it closure? Was it guilt? Or was it just the quiet horror of realizing that the one person who knew every version of me from braces to baby bump was gone? Not dead. Just gone. Because I had to make her gone. It had been 2 weeks since I left Jake. The days were slow. The nights were slower. The baby was due any day now. And just when I thought the circus was over, his mom showed up. Mrs. Reynolds, in all her faux leather, perfume-drenched glory, showed up with 2 bags of homemade pickles and a frozen smile. Maddie, sweetheart, I know things got a little messy. A little. Mom offered her the ugly chair, the wobbly one with a squeaky leg. A silent declaration of war. He made a mistake, Mrs. Reynolds continued. Men, they do that. But he loves you. He loves the baby. He loved Rachel too, apparently, Mom said, pouring tea with the aggression of a bartender in a Western. He's been punished enough, Mrs. Reynolds snapped. You mean the daily spa deliveries we send straight to the trash? I didn't speak. My hands rested on my belly. Baby Noah kicked. Right on cue. Mrs. Reynolds turned to me, eyes glassy. Don't punish the baby, Maddie. Every child needs a father. I finally spoke. I grew up without a dad. I turned out fine, but it's hard. Not as hard as staying with someone who made me feel disposable. She was quiet for a second. Then, fine. Be stubborn like your mother. That's when Mom stood up so fast the ugly chair nearly collapsed. Call me stubborn one more time, and I'll show you just how stubborn I can get. The argument escalated fast. 2 women, 2 generations, 1 war zone, and then pain. Real stabbing, gut-wrenching pain. I come Yuri not like my mom. Something's wrong. My knees buckled. The room spun. Water broke. Everyone shut up. We need to go. Now. It was chaos. Mom threw keys. Mrs. Reynolds screamed. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't see straight. I was wheeled into the ER, hair a mess, sweat everywhere, and somehow Jake was there. He appeared at the entrance like some tragic rom-com male lead, except I wasn't crying from joy. I was crying from contractions. They prepped me for delivery. My entire body trembled. I wanted to scream. I wanted to crawl out of my own skin. And then, a cry. Sharp, piercing, tiny. Congratulations. The nurse smiled. It's a boy. Noah. He was perfect. Tiny fingers, round cheeks, soft black hair. The weight of everything hit me all at once. I was sobbing and smiling and bleeding and broken all at once. I reached out, held him close, and whispered, "You're mine. Just mine." I woke up in a quiet hospital room. My body felt like it had been hit by a freight train. Twice. But then I saw him. Noah. swaddled, sleeping, a tiny fist tucked under his cheek like he already had opinions about this cruel, cruel world. And somehow everything hurt a little less. See, or my mom was there, of course, hovering, crying. You scared me, Maddie. You really did. I'm okay, I whispered. We're okay. She nodded, wiping her tears with the back of her hand like she'd done for me 100 times before. Scraped knees, broken crayons, broken hearts. It's just the two of us now, she said, her voice soft. Well, 3. I'm not scared, I told her, and I meant it. Then the door opened. Jake, holding Noah, smiling like nothing ever happened. He's got your eyes, he said. I didn't say anything. My mom stood between us like a bodyguard, grabbed Noah, and gave him back to me like she was reclaiming a stolen treasure. You can leave now, she said flatly. But he didn't. Maddie, Jake said, please, let me take you both home. You still don't get it, do you? I looked at him, really looked, and felt nothing but exhaustion. You and Rachel. That betrayal. That's permanent. I know I messed up, but I want to fix it. You can't fix a nuclear bomb. Jake. Mrs. Reynolds walked in behind him with her full pageant smile energy. Sweetheart, you have to forgive him. Look at your beautiful baby, he needs both his parents. My mom, never one to back down, folded her arms and said, he'll have love. He doesn't need lies. And that's when the yelling started. Again, Jake begging, Mrs. Reynolds lecturing, my mom threatening to call security. Noah started crying. Same. Enough, I shouted. Everyone froze. I pulled Noah close to my chest, his soft breathing slowing as he calmed. We are not a family. You don't get to rewrite that now. You made your choices. Jake's voice broke. I love you. Then why'd you sleep with her? Silence. I looked at him, at his mother, at the hollow wreckage of what was once my home. Get out. On they did, eventually, but Jake lingered at the door. I'll keep coming back, he said. Don't, I whispered. There's nothing left here for you. And just like that, he was gone. Recovery was a war zone. Crying baby, no sleep, cracked nipples, stitches, hormones playing ping pong with my soul, and on top of all that, Jake, still showing up, like a bad newsletter that wouldn't let me unsubscribe. He dropped off soup, flowers, diapers, baby wipes. Sometimes he just stood outside the building holding a stuffed animal, looking like a sad contestant who just got eliminated on The Bachelor. Mom sent him away every single time. Wrong address. Try hell. Rachel, meanwhile, gone. No calls, no texts, no doorstep confessions, just silence. I thought I'd be relieved. I wasn't. Turns out grieving a best friend you used to trust hurts in ways cheating husbands don't. 3 weeks after the birth, my phone dinged. Email from Rachel Morgan. Subject, I'm sorry. The last one. I stared at the screen for a long time before opening it. Maddie, this is the last thing I'll ever send you. I promise. By the time you read this, I'll be on a plane to a treatment center overseas. My parents are sending me to get help, real help this time. I don't expect forgiveness. I don't even expect you to reply. But I need you to know this. I've always envied you. Your warmth, your fire, the way you carry the world without asking anyone to help. I wanted to be like you. And then I ruined everything trying to get close to something I never deserved. Jake was your Ultraman, but I was the monster. I'm sorry I took everything good and turned it into ash. I'm sorry I hurt your mom. I know she was like a second mother to me. I'll never forgive myself. But I hope one day you won't hurt this much when you think of me. Tell Noah I'm sorry I'll never get to meet him. Love, if that still means anything, Rachel. I didn't cry, not at first. But later that night, holding Noah in one arm and scrolling through old photos with the other us in high school in matching Halloween costumes eating instant noodles at 2 a.m., I let the tears come because I had loved her and she had loved me. Just not enough to stop herself. And I didn't reply because there was nothing left to say. And because some letters aren't meant to be answered. Grief is funny. You think you've hit rock bottom. You think betrayal was the worst pain. And then life leans over, smirks, and says, "Oh, honey, we're just getting started." It happened fast. A call from the spa, screaming, shattered glass, and then a whisper. "Your mom. She's been hurt. Bad." I don't remember much after that. Just the feeling of ice crawling through my veins. I ran, out the door, down the stairs, no shoes, no coat. Jake saw me sprinting, tried to stop me. I didn't even hear what he said. Now, when I got to the spa, it was chaos. Police lights, an ambulance, crowd murmurs. I pushed past them, and there she was, my mom, lying still, too still, covered. Didn't know. I gasped. No. I dropped to my knees, begged, screamed, held her hand. It was cold. Colder than anything I'd ever touched. Jake tried to pull me back. I shoved him off. "You don't get to touch me. Not here. Not now." The paramedics were quiet. The cops whispered words like assailant and random attack. None of it made sense. The only thing I understood was this. She was gone. My mother, my shield, my chaos, my backbone, gone. The funeral was gray sky, gray clothes, gray tears. I held Noah the whole time. Jake sat nearby but didn't speak. For once he didn't try to fix it, because he couldn't. No one could. Then that night, I got an email from the police. The man who killed my mother had been arrested. A random client, angry over a refund. Mental health issues. No remorse. We're pursuing full sentencing, the detective wrote. Great. As if any of that would bring her back. I went home. Rocked Noah to sleep. Looked at our old family photo on the wall, me and Mom at the city wall, wind in our hair, her arm tight around my shoulder. I slid down to the floor and sobbed. The kind of sobbing that makes you forget how to breathe. Grief isn't loud. It's quiet. It's the sound of an empty kitchen. The silence after a joke you want to tell her. The echo of Mom in a room that no longer answers. After the funeral, I moved like a ghost. Fed the baby, answered emails, pretended to breathe. Grief didn't knock me over. It just melted into everything, even joy, even Noah. Jake still came around, left things by the door. Once I heard him singing to Noah from the hallway. I didn't open it. My mom was dead. Rachel was gone. And whatever part of me once loved Jake, it died the moment I picked out my mother's coffin. Kakayrapayak, he begged to see Noah. I refused. He sent long emails full of regret and therapy quotes. I deleted everyone, because this time I chose silence. Then, one day my old boss called. Lila Liu. Firm voice. No nonsense. "Maddie, we're opening a new branch in Charleston. I want you to run it." I stared at Noah gnawing on a pacifier like he owned the world. When would I leave 2 weeks? That night I packed, sold my mom's spa, donated the furniture, closed every open chapter with the efficiency of a woman who's had her heart incinerated and come out standing. I didn't tell Jake, didn't say goodbye. What was there to say? Noah and I boarded a plane at dawn. 3 hours later, we landed in a city where no one knew our story, where my past wouldn't greet me at the grocery store, where the street corners didn't whisper old memories. Charleston was warm. So warm, in fact, I didn't realize I'd been cold for months. As we rode toward our new apartment, Noah giggled at a cab driver's accent. I smiled. First real one in a long time. When we got inside, I opened my laptop, cleared every saved email, then paused, typed one last message. To Jake Reynolds, subject our son. His name is Noah Carter. He's healthy, he's happy, he's safe. We won't be in New York anymore. Please don't try to find us. I hope you learn to live with the choices you made. I already have. And with that, I hit send, closed the laptop, and opened a window. It's been 6 months. 6 months since I buried my mother, since I gave birth, since I burned down the life I thought I wanted, and you know what, I'm still here. Charleston is slower, softer. There's a bakery downstairs that smells like cinnamon, an old neighbor named Gloria who keeps giving me tomatoes from her garden, and a park where Noah insists on waving at every dog, every single one. He's walking now, kind of. More like wobbling proudly like a tiny drunk man. I have a new job, new couch, new peace. Some nights I still cry. Some nights I still check Rachel's name in my inbox, even though I know there'll never be another email. But most nights I sleep, and that feels like a miracle. Noah's laugh has become my favorite sound. He has my eyes, my mom's stubbornness, and God help me, Jake's smirk, but he's mine, all mine. We went to the beach last week, just the two of us. He stood there in his little sun hat, clutching a plastic shovel, and yelled at the waves like they owed him money. I laughed so hard I forgot I was ever sad. Sometimes I think about writing a book, about everything. Maybe I will, or maybe I'll just keep telling Noah stories, about a woman who lost everything, and then found something better, herself. Because here's the truth. Some people will betray you. Some people will leave. Some people will die before you're ready to let them go. But if you're still breathing, if you're still standing, if you're still here, you're not finished yet. And neither am I.